from Consol Energy Park here in Washington, Pennsylvania. This afternoon we have a PSAC West baseball matchup between the Pitt Johnstown Mountain Cats and the California Vulcans. Hello and welcome to the broadcast, everyone. My name is Matt Hagee. Alongside of me is Zach Prosbett. And Zach, how the PSAC West works when they play baseball is they play two sets of doubleheaders. And yesterday, these two teams faced off at Historic Point Stadium in Johnstown and came away with a split.
Yeah, UPJ actually ended up winning the first game by a score of 6-4. And Cal U, they just stranded a lot of runners on bases. They weren't able to come through with the clutch hits needed to be able to get some of those runs across, and UPJ had the timely hitting late in the game as well. And then for the second game, California was able to win 9-5. So California, their offense drove across some runs. They still were stranding some runners, though, after I was checking, the live stats and stuff. They have a problem with stranding some runners on, and the pitching sometimes giving up multiple runs in an inning. So if they can correct that today, they may be able to come out here with a sweep. However, last year, these teams both did split the series, including a Jack Dennis no-hitter against UPJ last year at Point Stadium.
Jack Dennis got to win that game yesterday. The standings in the PSAC West, we're down to the last two weekends of the regular season, and these two teams, they're at different parts of the standings. California right now is tied for third with Slippery Rock in the playoffs as we speak in the PSAC tournament. For UPJ, bit of a strange year for them because normally we see them up at the top. They made the playoffs last year. This year, only 6-30.
Yeah, California with an 18-18 overall record, 12-10 in the PSAC, like you mentioned, tied there at third with Slippery Rock and just ahead of IUP, the hated rivals, for that final spot. There's only a few games left in the season, so they have a lot of time left. As for UPJ, you said it's a different year for them. They're down in the standings, 6-15-1 in conference, so this is a building year. They're a young team still. I think next year they're going to be a lot more competitive, and Seton Hill and Mercier is right there at the top of the standings. You can see on the graphic. They are perennial powers across the entire nation. It would not surprise me if they are teams, fighting for a spot at the College World Series this year in Division II.
Seton Hill made it last year to the College World Series and did some damage as well. We're going to take a look at our two players to watch for today. Zach, we're going to start with the California Vulcans, and when we talk California Vulcan offense, and we've seen a lot of it that season, we're going to start with David Marcus.
Yeah, David Marcus. He's only a junior, and we saw him last year drive in a lot of runs in the games that we covered here at Consol Energy Park. As a junior this year, he's even upped his totals, hitting about 400. He has 11 home runs, 46 RBIs, which is tops on the teams. And he and Chris Wozchak have combined to hit back-to-back in that order multiple times throughout the year. And they've combined for over 70 RBIs, about 16 home runs. But David Marcus is the setting piece for this lineup. When he hits, everybody else seems to go get around him.
As for UPJ, there's still a lot of talent on this team, including some D1 talent. And in their leading batting average getter is Sean Slay, who's from St. Bonaventure.
Yeah, a transfer from Division I. Usually you don't see that a lot in baseball, and more football and basketball, but the transfer from Division I, St. Bonaventure, he's hitting .352 this year. Also, 6 round trippers as well. Sean Slay, he may not hit high in the batting order, but he's that down low threat behind the cleanup, maybe that second cleanup guy that you have to look out for in this lineup if you're pitcher GJ Sunshak, who's starting out there for the Vulcans today.
Should be a great matchup. It is gorgeous weather today. We're going to see the ball flying everywhere. We might see some home runs. That's something that the Vulcans have done a lot this season. When we come back, we will have first pitch here from Consol Energy Park right here on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted. We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And welcome back to Consol Energy Park here in Washington, Pennsylvania, as we're getting ready for the first pitch between the UPJ Mountain Cats and the California Vulcans. My name once again is Matt Hagee. Alongside me is Zach Prosba. And Zach, these two teams, they feature a lot of offense, and it's kind of the offense first and then pitching second. It's been this season for these two teams.
Yeah, when you look at the tail of the tape between these squads, it's all offense and then pitching. And we'll look at the starters for UPJ. First off, as they'll be hitting first. Batting first, playing in center field, number 1, Ernesto Rizitano. Batting second, playing second, will be number 16, Dylan Boyer. And batting third, playing third, you see a theme here, will be Nate Negri. Now batting fourth, cleanup hitter, player we talked about, playing left field, Sean Slay, the transfer from St. Bonaventure. And then batting fifth for UPJ will be number 9, Mike Palkovitz. He'll be the designated hitter today. Then batting sixth, playing first base, will be number 12, Luke Williams, a redshirt freshman from Mineral Point. Batting seventh and playing shortstop will be number 14, Jake Stern. Batting eighth and doing the duty behind the plate, number 10, Nico Pecora, and rounding out the lineup will be number 15, Derek Cook, who will play right field. And pitching today for the UPJ Mountain Cats is number 2, Ryan Sokol.
And on the mound here for the Vulcans is GJ Senchak, the senior lefty. He's got the ball, the windup, and we are underway. First pitch upstairs for a ball.
That was a good first pitch. Fastball right down the middle, just a little bit high. Good by Rizitano to watch, and he's only 5'8", so he has a very small strike zone.
And the next pitch is low for a ball, so Senchak falls behind 2-0 here.
Actually, no, they called that a strike. It was a very late strike call there.
The count is 1-1, and that one is low. So that one is a ball. Rizitano comes into this game batting 280. He's that leadoff hitter that always got to set the table, and you got to believe he's got a lot of speed under him too. That pitch is fouled to the backstop here, and we'll even up the count at 2.
Yeah, Rizitano, 7 stolen bases on the year out of 11 attempts, so he leads the team in that category. Like you said, he's that table setter for this offense if he can get on it and start stealing some bases.
Senchak, the 2-2. That ball is ripped past the third baseman for the base hit, so Rizitano gets on the board and on the base pass, and UPJ, one man on.
Now batting for the Mountain Cats.
Now you're going to see Dylan Boyer come up, and we'll see if Rizitano runs. I said before, those 7 stolen bases and 11 attempts. You look at the replay here. Pitch inside. Started curling into the inside and just a line drive to the hot corner in the third baseman. That is Levi Krause, not able to make the dive and play.
So here's a bunt attempt here, and that ball gets away, and Rizitano is going to take second. So that's going to go down as a wild pitch, I believe, and UPJ's in business here.
Yeah, that was a bad pitch. It ends up being a ball, even though you could have contested that. That could have been a strike because Boyer didn't look like he got his bat out of there and timed him, in my opinion, but it was up to the umpire to make that call.
So now Senchak has put a UPJ runner in scoring position here. His ERA is 8.88, so there's a lot of 8s there, but it's definitely been higher than it's been the last few seasons, and a swing and a miss there by Boyer to even the count at 1.
Yeah, Senchak, he doesn't look like he comes with dominating stuff. He looks like he's more of a control style left-hander, which you see a lot throughout college and the major leagues.
Senchak gets the look, looks at the runner at second. The 1-1 ball is bunted right up in the air and right to Senchak. So Senchak is thank you very much and gets a big out right there.
Yeah, you can't ask for much more than that. Perfect play for the Cal U defense to be able to get that pop bunt. So, although technically you could have said, hey, the sacrifice worked and you got him over to second base, you weren't able to advance him any further, which now sets up Nate Negri to try and hit.
And Negri is from Huntington, Pennsylvania. And Senchak looks at the runner and will step off the bag. Negri comes in this game batting .344, and also 3 home runs, which is tied for, which is third on the team here as he takes a ball. So Senchak is not throwing a first pitch strike to any of the 3 batters so far.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to want to be in the plate. He wants to work around on the corners and try and paint the black with the ball.
1-0. And that one is downstairs as well for another ball, so he falls behind Negri down 2-0.
The thing about Senchak is he's not tall either, so he has to come a little bit harder with that downward motion from the mound.
Senchak winds a 2-0. That one is a strike. Another late strike, kind of a late strike calling umpire here. Says 2-1. And Zach, as they get closer to the meat of this lineup here, you cannot make a mistake here. The 2-1. That one is a called strike as well. So Senchak battles back from 2-0 down to make it 2-2.
And that looked to be in the exact same pitch as that first strike. Painting the outside corner to see if he works inside. It looks like he will be here.
Senchak, and you'll step off the bag again. Really watching Rizzatono there, and as much as you can see, I think I can relate to when Billy Hamilton played against the Pirates. He really got into those pitchers' heads. The 2-2's well outside, and will make it a full count here. First full count Senchak has faced all day.
It looked like he tried to go with maybe a slider or a splitter there, and he threw it too high. He has that 3/4 arm slot, and it's easy to throw sliders from that position, but if you let it go too soon, it's going to stay high.
The full count pitch, swing and a miss, and a big strikeout there for Senchak. So after letting Rizzatono get the second, Senchak has responded with 2 outs.
And a great strikeout there. Come with the off-speed movement pitch, and then right back down the middle with a fastball. Change the batter's perception, make him speed his hands up, and he wasn't able to catch up with it. Now you have 2 outs facing arguably UPJ's best hitter in Slay.
Slay coming in here batting .352, 6 home runs you mentioned before. The first pitch is lined foul down the first base line. Slay he's from Du Bois, Pennsylvania, and you mentioned St. Bonaventure before, but he's a pretty big guy out there.
Yeah, he's a very tall player. He looks like he probably could be first baseman in some situations as well.
Next pitch is almost hit him there, and even the count up at 1.
A good pick there by Kaufman. And you have to know, this is an all-turf field, so if a ball bounces at the plate, it's not going to be like in dirt where it kind of slides. It's going to bounce right at you. So Kaufman has to be able to make those good picks at the plate.
Senchak checks Rizzatono at second, and he'll step off and take some time here. But you got always that righty versus lefty matchup there. It definitely favors Slay here. Senchak, the 1-1. That one is upstairs, and for a ball, it'll be 2-1.
Looked like he tried to go with a little bit of off speed, maybe a change, two-seam slider, or a two-seam fastball, maybe just had a little bit of late movement on there, just stayed a little bit too high for Slay to be able to take a whack at it.
Senchak, the 2-1. That one is low for a ball, so it's now 3-1.
And this is a guy that, if you lose him, okay. He's a big hitter. He can hit the home run. You have to be careful on this pitch here, though. You don't want to go right down the middle of the plate.
And the 3-1. And low, and he throws to third, and he is out. What a great awareness play there by Will Kaufman that gunned down Rizzatono at third, and now we'll end the top of the first.
Yeah, so walk there, and that actually will count. I don't believe Slay will hit the next inning, but Rizzatono getting caught at third base. You never want to make the final out of an inning at third base. That's a cardinal sin in baseball, and he does that right there, but good play by Kaufman to be able to gun the throw down to third base.
And he wasn't even close on that play as well here. And as you see a shot there of head coach Mike Conte, his 19th season at the helm for the manager of the California Vulcans here. And Zach will have their lineup right now.
And starting it off for California will be number 7, Mick Fennell, who is playing center field today. Batting right after him will be number 6, Danny McGrath, playing in left field. Batting third will be Matt Peters, the shortstop for Cal U today. And batting fourth, our player to watch, David Marcus for third base, leading the team with 11 long shots this year. Then batting fifth, the DH freshman, Chris Waschak, and he started the year off on a tear with some home runs. He has 5 on the year now. Then in right field, batting 6, Jared Grove, number 32. Then the bottom third of the order, number 9, Brooks. He's playing at second base. Then Levi Krause, who just made the tag there at third base. He's batting 8th, number 23. And rounding out the order, the man who threw out Rizzatono at third, Will Kaufman, number 1. And pitching for UPJ, I mentioned before, is Ryan Sokol, number 2 for UPJ. He has a very high ERA this year, 9.09. He's 1-4. He started at 6 games out of his 11 appearances. He's walked 15, struck out 25, and given up a 336 batters against average.
He is a senior from Montour High School, just to the west of the city of Pittsburgh, and he had a big role in that Game 1 victory for UPJ. In the top of the 7th, California put 2 runners on with nobody out against a starting pitcher, it was Nate Pope for UPJ, and they took him out, and he came in and got three big outs. Sokol winds and deals to Fennel, and it's way outside for a ball.
And that one just did not break back to the plate. And I just have to make a note. I loved Mick Fennel's walk-up song. It's, "Oh, Mickey, you're so fun, you blow my mind, hey, Mickey." That was a great song for him to come up to.
Gotta love when these baseball players have great personalities with their song. That pitch is also outside as well. So Sokol falls behind Fennel here, 2-0. Fennel in this game batting .420 with 6 home runs. He hit his 6th home run last Wednesday against Salem International. The 2-0 pitch, that one is upstairs, and that will be now a 3-0 count.
And if you're in this 3-0 situation, unless that pitch is right there and you know you can club it out of the park into the parking lot, don't swing.
And the pitch is taken for a strike. So now this becomes a big hitter's count here for the Fennel, the switch hitter.
And Fennel has walked 11 times this year, so he's not afraid to take some pitches to get on.
And make it 12 walks. So Mick Fennel gets on first base here, and just as we saw with UPJ, their leadoff hitter has gotten on base.
And Fennel has stolen 12 bases this year. He's only behind Peters on the team, who has 13. He's been caught 4 times, but Fennel definitely has some speed out there, able to burn the base paths against Sokol. And with a right-handed pitcher on the mound, it's a lot easier than it was for UPJ, who had to face a lefty.
Next up is Danny McGrath. He squares the bunt, and that bunt will be well executed. Sokol will throw to first and get McGrath out, but he does his job and gets Fennel to second.
And small ball working for California. Now you bring up Matt Peters, who has the great hitting ability to bloop a single into right field or left field into the gaps and try and get Fennel home from second. He has that great speed. If he gets one down in the outfield, he has a chance to score. You also have Marcus coming up right behind him.
And Peters is standing with batting a .443 average here, and Peters rips the first pitch foul just behind the first base dugout there, and goes in the stands. Not quite where the CUTV truck is parked behind the grandstands here, but Matt Peters is from Upper Darby, which is just outside of Philadelphia, Upper Darby High School. And a lot of accolades for him coming into the season. He was on the Tino Martinez Award watch list. And Peters takes a rip at this one, goes to center field. The center fielder for UPJ is coming on and makes the catch. Fennel will tag. Here's the throw, and Fennel will be safe. So good heads-up base running there by Fennel. He realized where the ball was. The runner kind of was running a little bit, couldn't really set and throw, and Fennel gets third.
Yeah, great play there by Fennel. You really have to credit Fennel for that one because he has the know-it-all too. Get back to second, and he watched the center fielder because the center fielder was actually trailing towards right field anyways, so he'd have to turn his body and then chuck a throw. If he's going to left, it's a lot easier for him, but going the opposite way, Fennel had an easy opportunity to go to third, and he was easily safe. And now you bring up David Marcus, who's a big power guy in this lineup, try and get that run in from third.
David Marcus, the big offensive threat, 11 home runs this season, a junior from Ontario, Canada. And Marcus leads the team in RBIs with 46, and he is 4th in the entire PSAC in RBIs.
And he took a first pitch strike that was out in the outside corner. That's what you want to do. Try and make him swing over something on the outside.
And that pitch is outside, so evens the count up here at 1. And David Marcus, the stat with him, his first 2 seasons at Cal, he only had 1 home run. This season he has 11.
Yeah, he's really got some power in that bat now, and that's why he's hitting cleanup.
He's been starting since his freshman year, and that pitch is also taken outside, so the count will move to 2-1.
And it's a great thing for this team that he's only a junior. Cal is a very young team, much like UPJ is. In California, we're seeing the improvement this year from last season, where they weren't a playoff team this year, and they're fighting for that spot this year.
As Marcus takes a rip at this one, that one is heading for the gap, but the left fielder for UPJ is under it. He will make the catch, and Sokol will get out of a jam here, and we will move on to the top of the second. No score. We come back for action here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications, with nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
And welcome back to Consol Energy Park here as we move to the top of the second here, and both of these teams, the Vulcans and the UPJ Mountain Cats, are still scoreless. Leading off for UPJ here in the top of the second is number 9, Mike Palkovitz.
He's the DH in this lineup, lefty-lefty matchup here at the plate and on the pitcher's mound.
And Palkovitz will take a called strike there. So that is, I believe that is the first strike that Senchak has thrown to a hitter to lead off. And Palkovitz takes a rip this one right at the first baseman, David Marcus. Easy play there, and there will be one away.
And David Marcus, he's sporting a good .992 fielding percentage at first base this year. A very good fielding first baseman. Sometimes you put a guy over first base because he can't throw. We don't know about the throwing ability of Marcus, but we definitely know he can work the glove.
Next up here is number 12, Luke Williams. He is from Mineral Point, Pennsylvania, which goes to Bishop McCourt High School, just outside of Johnstown, and that pitch is taken high for a ball. And
again, Sunshine not able to get that first pitch strike. That's the way you keep your pitch count down and attack these hitters, is get those first pitch strikes across the plate as he gets one there.
Luke Williams batting .336, tied for second in home runs with 4. The 1-1. That ball is taken low for a ball to make it 2-1. Senchak winds the 2-1. That ball is lined down the first base line and fouled. So it got by the ice cream stand out there in right field. His park is used by the Washington Wild Things Independent League Baseball team, and the staff did a wonderful job today helping us set up and really get this broadcast working out. Williams takes another shot about the same direction, another foul ball.
Yeah, so he's got that late timing on trying to drive it down the right field line. If you're Senchak, maybe go inside, try and tie him up and make him kind of loop one over to third base.
Senchak, the 2-2. That ball is low, and it will be a full count. Second full count that Senchak's gotten into today. Big pitch here, 3-2. Ball line foul, just off the backstop.
Yeah, the on-deck hitter Luke Williams for UPJ has got to be careful because that one came not right at him, but relatively close, and that's the scary thing as an on-deck hitter. When I played baseball, I was always afraid I was going to get hit.
And that pitch is right up the middle, right past Senchak. Nothing you can do about that one. And it'll be a hit for Williams.
And again, I mentioned him before in the at-bat. He just had great timing in that sequence. It seemed whatever Senchak would do, Williams was prepared for it. He had the right mentality going up there with that at-bat, and he just clubbed one right through into center field. And that's when you know you have great timing on a pitch, is when you hit it right back up the middle, right at the pitcher.
Next up here is Jake Stern. He is from Northern Bedford High School. And the first pitch to Stern is upstairs, and that will be a ball. Senchak, one of the senior leaders on this team, he's been pitching. He's been pretty much been used all 4 years. He has a lot of experience, and his next pitch right past Kraus at third, and UPJ will put 2 guys on here with 1 out.
And that's twice now that Levi Kraus has tried to make a diving stop at the hot corner, and the ball's just been hit too hard. And again, I said Senchak is not a guy that's going to come at you with dominating stuff. He looks to be a control-style pitcher who's going to come in there in maybe the high 70s, low 80s, and try and hit the corners. But when you don't and you leave it across the plate, these hitters are taking advantage of this, what we've seen so far.
So a big spot here in the bottom of the lineup here. Nico Pecora up next, and he takes a first pitch strike. Pecora is from Richland High School, which is literally right across the street from UPJ, so he could pretty much commute all his classes. And the next pitch from Senchak, the ball is ripped to Kraus. The ball will stay fair. Kraus will tag the bag at third, and that pitch will be the pitch to first. Ball offline there, it'll be safe, but a big out there to get the lead runner.
Yeah, a good force play there. Good also knowledge by Kraus to realize, hey, I can step on this bag and then go to first. I thought with him playing so far back, I thought he was going to try and wait for it to go foul, and then I realized that force play was still available.
So up next here, we've hit the bottom of the lineup here, and Senchak throws upstairs here to Derek Cook, freshman from Huntington, Pennsylvania. A couple Huntington players on this team. Senchak takes a look at second. The 1-0. That pitch is lined foul off the fence.
And Senchak, he's been coming with a lot of off speed that hasn't really worked for him. He's leaving it hanging. That fastball, though, it seems to be his best pitch so far. Maybe come with a 4-seam. If you have a 2-seam in your arsenal, try with that as well and try and work it back inside the plate.
Senchak the 1-1. And that ball is just upstairs to make it 2-1. Senchak definitely still with that crafty lefty mentality, though. A lot of off-speed pitches. Kind of reminds me of Tom Glavine a little bit. Senchak 2-1. Ball is ripped foul. Back behind the first base grandstands.
And I know all about Tom Glavine.
Yes.
Growing up in Atlanta, watching him pitch. And the only thing I did not like about Tom Glavine is that he went very deep in counts,
yes,
and it limited his ability to go deep into games. And I think that's what we're seeing from Senchak here. He's got a lot of pitches.
Like Greg Maddox, his teammate, and that ball is right up to the second baseman. He flips it to Peters, and Senchak will once again work out of a jam here, and we will stay scoreless going to the bottom of the second.
In California, I mentioned it yesterday, for the games yesterday, that they had troubles getting runners in when they got them on the corners and to second base. They did that the first inning and see if they can correct that in the second. Well, look at the tail of the tape. The average favors California. So does the home runs, 35 to 22. The ERAs for these teams, though, are very troubling. 7.11 for California and 10.85 for UPJ. When you get into playoff time against teams like Mercyhurst and Seton Hill, you have to pitch to win, and you have to play defense to win. And if you cannot lower that ERA before getting to the playoffs, especially if you're Cal U, it looks like you have the better chance of getting there anyways, then you're going to have a tough time trying to win a series in the playoffs and try to get to the College World Series. Both of these teams also have trouble with walks, 162 for UPJ. That's too many free passes to batters. That's giving up outs. Realistically, you'd love to face 3 or 4 guys. You never want to put a guy on yourself with those 4 balls. You want to make him hit. And, okay, he did his job to get on. I tried my best to get him out. But if you throw 4 balls up at the plate, then you're not doing your good job as a pitcher trying to get that guy out.
And now as the PSAC tournament works, now 4 teams from each division are selected to the PSAC tournament. Now a single elimination tournament. Now it used to be double elimination. That tournament will be held in Butler in 2 weeks. Butler High School, I believe. There's a big field up there. And last season, California, for the first time in 5 years, did not make the PSAC playoffs. So, and talking to Coach Connie before the season, it was very unfamiliar, and he said his players very hungry to get back to the playoffs.
And I mentioned earlier in the first inning, it's a very young team, and they have improved from last year, though. And I look to them to make some noise in the playoffs. May not win that one game that they play against whoever, maybe a Seton Hill or Mercyhurst, but they'll at least give a fight. And next year, with some of the pieces they have coming back, they'll definitely be a top 3 or 2 possibly team.
And right here is another one of those talented young players, Chris Waschak. He is a freshman from Peters Township High School, and Waschak is batting .351 with 5 home runs. A lot of power under him.
Yeah, I think, the big thing for Coach Connie, trying to replace Kyle Petty, arguably the best baseball player to ever play at Cal, who's now in the Mariners organization. You're looking for a hitter and a player who can play premium positions all across the field. And you can't replace him, but you can at least make up for him. And I think Waschak is the start of that progress.
Sokol, the 1-2 pitch right up the middle, and Sokol will grab that one, flips to first, and there will be 1 out. A nice start here for Sokol. We saw last year, the 2 games we called here last season against Mercyhurst, the game went scoreless deep into the game for the most part. A very low-scoring game. As we see the next player up here for California will be Jared Grove, number 32 from Greencastle Antrim High School, and he's a converted catcher to outfielder.
Yeah, he's playing right field today, and we have to bring it up. The last time we were here, Matt, you were on the call for probably the greatest catch Cal U's ever seen. Chuck Gasty getting stuck in the fence.
And Grove hits that one foul, but actually it was right down that first base line as Gasty came flying in, made an unbelievable catch. It made Fox Sports Live, intentional talk. Bleacher Report. Yeah, it was just great to see that get exposure. And the best thing about it, Gasty got caught in the fence monster over there. Got his foot caught. I thought he was hurt at first. Sokol and forces Grove into another easy play right back to the pitcher to first. The old 1-3, and it'll be 2 quick outs here.
in these last two at-bats, Sokol's working outside to these left-handed hitters, and there's a lot of them on this California team. And what he's doing, he's keeping everything on the outside, and he's throwing off-speed changes and a little bit of splitters and curveballs out there as well. And he's leaving them on the outside, and he's making hitters speed their bat up and get out too far in front of it and hit it right back at him for a lazy ball.
And the next batter up for California is a freshman, Garrett Brooks. He is from Connellsville, Pennsylvania, but he went to Greensburg Central Catholic High School. And Sokol, the 1-0. And that pitch will be taken upstairs, so Sokol falls behind Garrett Brooks at 2-0 here.
That was good late movement on that pitch. Looked to be a slider, just a little too high still.
And the next pitch, swing and a miss. And make the count 2-1. See a lot of, I like how Coach Conti really utilizes his young freshmen, gets some big experience. That's how David Marcus started. He's a 3-year starter so far. Sokol, that pitch is low, so he falls behind in the count 3-1. Big hitters count here for Brooks.
And you can't learn if you're on the bench. If you're a pitcher only, that's a different thing. You have to bide your time before getting into the game. But if you're a hitter, get out there immediately, work in the cages. As we see a walk here for Brooks, getting him on. But work in the cages, get some at-bats in the field, and when you have those at-bats, make the most of those opportunities. And you get yourself some opportunities and continue to help this team grow.
And next up here is another freshman, Levi Krause, from Spring Grove High School back in York, Pennsylvania, about the center of the state. About like a couple freshmen in the row here, but it's these bottom of the order hitters that, it's Cutchin, and that is a big drive down the left field line.
That one's
going
gone.
Back, and that one is gone. How about that? Levi Krause's third home run of the season, and California takes a 2-0 lead. That ball really carried.
That did carry. It was a high fly ball. It wasn't a line drive.
I lost track of it. I got lost the sun there.
I was watching it, and all of a sudden I looked down at the left fielder, and he just started slowing down as he got to the fence, and that's when I said, it's gone, because he ran out of room to get there. It was a good 5 or 10 feet behind that 325 sign out in left field towards the foul pole.
So big strike there from Levi Krause, gets the Vulcans on the board there. And again, those bottom of the lineup hitters, it just comes so clutch. So Sokol throws first pitch here to the senior, Will Kaufman. And Kaufman, he's having a breakout offensive season. Last season he batted .214, and he's only hit 1 home run in his first 3 seasons. This year he has 6. And that pitch is fouled off the pole.
He also has a .260 average in 79 at-bats, 12 RBIs as well. His OBPS, about 700, which is average for most players, so he's definitely improved. And for those of you that don't know, OBPS is on base plus slugging percentage.
And Sokol, that pitch is low in the dirt, so it'll be 3-1. So again, Sokol falling behind his hitters here, and see what Kaufman will do. And next up will be the top of the lineup in McFennel.
And you have to worry about the top of the lineup because you could get a bunt hit down there, get 2 guys on then, and continue to bring up some of your better hitters.
That pitch is taken for a ball, so another walk. Kaufman gets on first base. You bring up Fennel. And this California team this season has been known to put up some pretty crooked numbers in some innings. Against Salem International, they scored 6 runs twice in 2 different innings.
Yeah, they ended up winning both those games 13-7 and 16-7. A great offensive showing. You got to bring that to the PSAC, though, where there's a lot better pitching, though.
And Sokol again starts out with a ball, falling behind the hitters. I thought for a second there that the catcher was going to walk out there and maybe have a little conference with him there, Cora.
And I think this is a time where you would do that. And usually when those catchers go out there, it's not a vote of confidence. It's trying to tell him a joke. Get his mind off of the game.
And another ball, so Sokol having some trouble here. Last time Fennel was up, he did draw a walk.
And there's 3 walks so far from Sokol in this one. You have 1 from Sunchak for California.
Sokol takes a look at first, and 2-0, and that ball is low, 3-0.
I think if he walks Fennel on 4 pitches, you got to see UPJ's pitching coach or head coach even go out there, get a talk on the mound, get this kid going again. Clearly he's lost track of something on the mound.
And that ball will be given a strike here, so big pitch there. But normally when it's 3-0, the umpires kind of expand that strike zone a little bit and give the pitcher a little bit of a better chance of getting a strike in here. And Fennel takes a whack at that one, and they're caught by the right fielder. That ball was hit right on a button. but unfortunately, for California, it was right at the right fielder there. But Levi Krause gets California on the board with a big, towering 2-run home run to left field. When we come back, it'll be the top of the third. UPJ up next here on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted. We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And we are back here on CUTV, and no, this is not a different game. Myself and Matt, since we're only calling this first game today, we have switched it up a little bit. I'll be doing the play-by-play. He'll be providing me some color analysis for the next few innings. It's only a 7-inning game, so we had to break it up somehow. And starting off this third inning will be Rizitano, the top of the lineup for UPJ. And that one's going to be a little high and outside, ball one.
Rizitano last time up, he led off the game with a single and then was able to get to second, but Senchak was able to work out of it. And this pitch right off of Senchak. Senchak gobbles it, drops it again, will not get it. Rizitano will get on here. I do not believe that will be an error because that was a pretty tough play.
Yeah, I don't even know if he got that he'd be able to throw him out. We'll see what they put up on the board. I believe that would be a hit, like you said, because that was a rocket right back to the mound for Senchak to even get his glove down there.
It's going to be a hit.
Have ruled that a hit, so a single for Rizitano, his second of the day. And now coming up will be Dylan Boyer, the second baseman. See if he tries to bunt him over again like he did the first time. And that one's going to be right down the middle, strike one. Doesn't look like he's bunting this time. The first time he actually
popped
it up.
That was a disaster. I think manager Todd Williams for UPJ, he's in his 18th season as well, just saying. He's only a white kid. But Senchak's not really had the bounces go his way. He had another one, comebacker, that was right through him for a hit.
And that one curves in for a strike as well. Now the count 0-2 on Boyer, so he's going to have to choke up, try and drive something the other way. Watch out for Rizitano at first as well. He could steal the bag. Now that one's going to be outside. That one was a kind of a chase pitch. See if you go get it, try and get the strikeout.
And always about those things with those lefties. They have a heck of a pickoff move. It's interesting to see if Senchak uses it.
And now swung on in the turf dirt and missed. That's a strikeout. One out now for Senchak.
I believe that's Senchak's second strikeout of the day here. Senchak has put runners on in every inning so far here as we're in the top of the third. But he's worked out of it so far. But sooner or later, as the game goes along and you get deeper in the more times through the batting order, it's going to come back.
Now here's a hit through the gap between short and third by Negri, and Rizitano's going to third. Here's the throw. It's going to be plenty late, and Negri very smartly comes from behind and goes to second as well. So there'll be runners on second and third for Sean Slay coming up.
Now I liked the throw. Obviously you want to get the lead runner there, but I think with Rizitano's feet, I would have thrown the second just to keep Negri from going to second there. But now UPJ's in business once again, but UPJ they've had a lot of lobsters out there today, and not the good kind of lobster.
Yeah, you never want to leave ducks on the pond. This is the first big opportunity for UPJ. Slay hitting the four-hitter. First pitch hacking, and he tips it into the glove of Kaufman.
And for Senchak, with runners on at second and third, you can't shy away here from Slay. You're going to have to pitch to him.
Ready for the 0-1. That one is swung on a miss. A bad hack there by Slay. Looks like he's trying to be too aggressive at the plate right now.
Yeah, it's one thing to be too aggressive there, but Zach, somebody order pull a string right there.
You never want to look like Bartolo Colon hitting at the plate.
The leading RBI man in baseball for pitching.
Now the 0-2. That one swung on a miss. A big strikeout there for Senchak as Slay went up there swinging and everything. And Senchek, I think he just kept moving farther and farther away from the plate and said, here, I'll see if you swing at this.
I mean, a very aggressive. I mean, normally you want to have the pitcher really get him wear it down, but Slay was just going up there hacking. I'm sure you'd like to have that at-bat back.
Now this would be Mike Polkovitz. That first pitch, a little high, ball 1, 2 outs, 2 on at second and third after the Nate Negri double, which sent Rosatano to the third. Senchak's 1-0. That one is going to be a little outside as well, 2-0 count now. So right after 3 strikes that were all outside the plate, he's still having troubles finding the middle of the plate. Now this one will be fouled out of play over to the left side, back where the truck used to park if we were doing a game here.
And Palkovitz, he got a single last time. He was the one that hit it right past Senchak, so he's trying to get that second hit in a big RBI spot.
Now this one, a nice off-speed pitch there from Senchak to get the batter out in front of it. 2-2 count with 2 outs and 2 on.
And if he can get the strikeout here, he strikes out the side.
Senchak's payoff pitch. That one, line into right field. That's going to bring 2 runs home. We'll see how far Palkovitz gets into the right field corner. Groves having trouble with it. Palkovitz will stop at second. A big 2-out RBI double to give UPJ the lead. Or, excuse me, tie the game up at 2.
Clutch hit there, and Palkovitz 2 for 2 now. And normally, you don't see a lot of RBIs out of him. That was RBIs only 10 and 11, but a big hit from the man from Cumberland Valley High School, and he's in scoring position again, and UPJ can try to take the lead here.
This will be Luke Williams, the first baseman up at bat. This one's lined into right field. Jared Grove having to move back on it, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Senchak talking to himself as he comes off the mound, but he did limit the damage. Only 2 runs on 3 hits in that one.
But, I mean, Zach, you look at the scoreboard out there in left field. 6 hits for UPJ to 1 for Cal, being that 2-run home run. So Cal's been using that, been damaging, getting a lot of lobsters with the walks. And you can see the team leaders here for California. It's a lot of Mick Fennell. But the batting average and runs, see David Marcus driving in runs, home runs, mentioned about the 11. And Matt Peters with 13 stolen bases. And pitcher Alex Ziegler, who's mostly used out of the bullpen, he actually started on Wednesday, so I think Coach Conti is kind of rewarding him a little bit, give him a start. And Jack Dennis and Justin Taylor, you could say the 2 aces on the team, 36 innings, 0.2 innings each. Ziegler with 3 wins, Taylor with 39 strikeouts, and Corey Craig leads the team with 9 appearances. And just to remind everyone, this is before the 2 games yesterday. These graphics were made, so those might have changed, but pretty much it could be the same.
And then looking at UPJ's leaders, we've mentioned some of these names already. Williams and Slay hitting 339. Of course, Slay has raised that average a little bit, except before that strikeout. Hess, 7.56 ERA to lead the team. That's not very good. You got to get that down a little bit. If UPJ had some pitching, they'd be a great team in this league.
Well, the pitching is what got them to the PSAC playoffs last year. They were the team that knocked Cal out of the 4th spot. They were down in the last weekend of the season. Cal got stuck with Seton Hill. UPJ got stuck with Clarion.
And now leading off for Cal U will be Danny McGrath, number 6, left fielder. First time at bat, he had a sac bunt that moved over Fennell. Now this pitch low, it's 2-0. In before, California only 1 hit so far against 6 for UPJ, but both teams still tied at 2.
McGrath coming in here batting .296.
McGrath lets that one go by, 2-1 count.
And he's a sophomore, so again, a younger underclassman, but it's been the control of Sokol that's really been hurting him. He's just made 1 mistake.
Now McGrath skies it to center field. Center fielder going back on it right before the warning track, and he has it, first out.
And there's been some pretty hard hit balls there. That was Rizzatano there on the catch. I mean, that last inning, Fennell hit one right on the button to right field. I thought that was going to go down the line for a double, but it was right. The right fielder was just there to settle under it. So it's not like California hasn't made anything much out of the infield. They've been hitting them pretty hard, just not good BABIP luck.
Yeah, batting average, balls in play. I still don't even.
I don't even know what that acronym was. I don't even
understand that stat because all balls are in play technically. As Peters will foul this one back just above the stadium, heading towards the truck. Hopefully everybody's all right out there. Now evens the count 1-1 with 1 out. And you mentioned before, California's really hitting them to the outfield today. Everything is carrying. You saw on that Krause home run, it carried out to the left field.
Oh, it's perfect weather for it. It's the exact same weather we had last season when we were here.
Now this one's going to be low, just gets past the catcher, Pecora. That's ball 2, 2-1 the count. Sokol, he's getting up there in pitch count. We don't have the exact number right in front of us, but he's getting up there with those 3 walks he's had so far today. Now this one, ooh, a nice breaking pitch, curved right into the middle of the plate. Peters just got froze right there. Looked at it, it's 2-2.
I mean, that was a good pitch to hit too, but Peters was just kind of stunned by it. That had a lot of movement on it.
Now Peters will call time here, and he might have been looking for a specific pitch in that last one there before getting froze up by the curve. Now we'll see if Sokol goes back to it, trying to get the strikeout. He does not, gets the fastball. It will be fouled away by Peters, though, to stay alive.
And Sokol has not had any strikeouts so far in this game. So California is making a lot of patient at bats, taking good pitches, forcing a lot of pitches, as you mentioned earlier. You get in that UPJ bullpen, and you look at some of the guys. I'm looking at some of the guys that are normally coming out of the bullpen for UPJ, and those ERAs are pretty high.
2-2, fouled away again. And you mentioned that approach that they're taking is they're letting the pitches get deep. They're fouling them away if they don't like them. Pittsburgh Pirates, take a note. You need to start taking some deeper counts.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, the Pirates lead the league in strikeouts or something like that, and they haven't had a walk in a week.
2-2. Peters is going to drill it down the left field line. That will be a double, ground rule double as it goes over the fence. Peters will stop at second. Probably would have ended up there anyways, and that brings David Marcus to the plate with an opportunity to drive him in with 1 out.
Great at bat there by Matt Peters. He's waiting for that something specific pitch, and he got it. He got a double. He has 11. He has now 12 doubles. He just passed Mick Fennell on the team lead for doubles.
Now David Marcus with 46 RBIs on the year, looking to make it 47 by getting the runner from second in. The first time Marcus flew out to left center field, had great opposite field power, just not enough under it to be able to get it out. Now first pitch, outside, that's going to be called a ball, 1-0.
And when Marcus came here as a freshman, he was kind of leaner, more thin, but really got some, he really hit the weight room here, really bulked up his power, and it's showing this season.
The 1-0. Marcus going to sky it to center field. That one curving towards the center fielder. It's still tailing off. And the center fielder is there to make the catch, so Marcus just got under it. Looked like he was trying to drive it out towards right field, and that's 2 outs.
And that ball hung up there for a while. I'm going to use a term that I've heard from my father. He's a longtime Phillies fan from the old days of Mike Schmidt. And what they would call, every time he'd hit the biggest, highest pop-ups that you'd ever see, they were called Michael Jack Schmidt pop-ups. And that was definitely a Michael Jack Schmidt pop-up on that one.
And like I said, it kept tailing over to the left side. It curved in air because of the wind that's blowing here sometimes. Now 2 outs, a runner on second. We're going to see Waschek come to the plate. First pitch is low, and it's also going to get behind the catcher, Pecora, move Peters over to third base. So now you don't really have to get an extra base hit to get him in.
You really don't. And I mean, even with the speed of Matt Peters, I think if a ball through the hole probably would have got him in, but still, that makes the job a lot easier, especially if he has another wild pitch, Peters can go sprinting to the plate.
And also now you have the potential for errors, wild pitches, pass balls again as well. They could get that run over and give California the lead back. Waschek watching the 1-0. That will be fouled. See if there's room for the third baseman. He's trailing. It's going to get out of play, though. Luckily enough for Chris Waschek, he's shaking his head there, trying to get a good swing on the ball.
And just a little late right there. I think Sokol got away with it. If Waschek would have got a hold of that one, that would have went pretty long distance. And like I said, Waschek's got a lot of power. 5 home runs as a freshman. And normally, how Cal does it, they normally don't hit. It's more of a stolen base team, talking to Coach Conti. And the way the offense has been this season, it's a lot of fun, as he described it.
And this one hangs up outside, 2-1. And I've watched Sokol. All he's doing against Waschek is he's throwing him outside, trying to get him to chase something. Waschek, change your approach. Kind of lean into the plate a little bit more. As this one stays outside as well. 3-1 the count. And now you're going to be looking fastball, trying to get one right there, dead in the middle of the plate.
And there's always that lean-in approach. Chase Utley for the Phillies does a lot of that.
Now this one going to be inside, called a strike anyways. 3-2, 2 outs. You won't be seeing the runner go immediately off the pitch from third base, but Waschek, he's going to have to fight here to try and keep this inning alive. The payoff pitch hit into right field, and that's going to get the run in as Peters scores off the RBI single from Waschek.
California takes the lead right back. It's just a good piece of hitting. Another deep count at bat. Waschek waited for his pitch, and he got a nice rip there right past the second baseman. California takes the lead right back. Just a responsing the Vulcans have had so far. And they were down 4-1 yesterday, and they came back to tie it 4-4 and almost responded after being down 6-4. There's 2 out RBIs. They hurt the other team, but my goodness, they are so beneficial for the team that's batting.
Now Grove at the plate. He'll watch his first one fall in on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1, 2 outs. Waschek, who got the runner in from third, that was Peters. He stands at first base.
And Jared Grove had a huge hit against Mercyhurst. The Vulcans were able to hand Mercyhurst their second loss of the season.
Now Grove drives it into right field as well. We're going to see Waschek think about going to third, but he'll stop at second. First and second, bringing up Brooks at the plate.
As 2 out damage continues to go here, but I mentioned before, Jared Grove last Friday, it was right here at Consol Energy Park. Jared Grove, no home runs this season until last Friday, and California was only up 3-2 to Mercyhurst, and he had a 2-run home run to make it 5-2, and that was huge because California won the game 5-4. That was Mercyhurst's second loss of the season, and they're ranked 6th in the country. That's probably not going to stay the same because IUP defeated them yesterday in one game.
And IUP, they are trailing right behind California and Slippery Rock for that 4th spot in the PSAC playoffs. First pitch from Sokol is outside, ball 1 to Brooks. First time Brooks was able to get on because of a walk, and he scored off the Levi Krause home run, who is on deck. 3-2 to score with 2 outs, runners on first and second in the bottom of the third. And this one will hang outside as well, 2-0.
And again, it's Sokol falling behind these hitters, and I can see him just starting to labor. You can tell when a pitcher starts to get really tired when they start arching their back out there.
Sokol step off, try and gather himself if he was paying attention to the runner at second. That's Waschek. And Sokol, this could be his last inning, but we have not seen anybody warming up in the pen for UPJ just yet.
When it comes to doubleheaders, the managers really don't want to use anyone else in the bullpen and save them, at least for the second game.
3-0 the count now. Sokol, you mentioned he's getting really tired out there, starting to wipe the sweat with the top of his jersey out away from his mouth and his nose area. I remember whenever I pitched and I started doing that, I knew I could start feeling the fatigue setting in. 3-0 count, 2 outs. And that's ball 4. Loads up the bases for the man who sent one deep to left field his last time, Levi Krause.
And it's a big spot right here. Once Sokol had a chance to get out of the inning, but he gave up an RBI single on the Waschek. Now he's loaded the bases here, but California's got to take advantage here with these men on the plate here, bases loaded. Add to that lead because Senchak, you see there, he's not a guy. I mean, he's been doing a pretty good job, but no lead's going to be safe.
Krause has 3 home runs now as well as 13 RBIs. Watches the first one go across for a ball. We're going to see pitching coach for UPJ take a visit out to the mound now. We'll see if there's a change or just a little bit of a visit. I was surprised, honestly, that was a ball. Looked right down the middle to me.
Yeah, it looked good from up here, but hey, we're up here. But I think definitely this is a much-needed mound meeting because Sokol has had a chance to start walking some runs in here. But I mentioned before the way the format here, they use the format for doubleheaders they do in minor league baseball. Minor league baseball, when you see they normally do rainouts. There's no scheduled doubleheaders that do 2 7-inning games, and normally in that first game, the manager will try to let the starting pitcher go as far as possible unless he really needs to. You see head coach there, Mike Conti again, and in that second game, he had a little bit more leisure to it, and especially in minor league, you normally see sometimes a long man bullpen start off the game, and they just work it out of the bullpen, but here, the way the format is, UPJ will just throw another starting pitcher out there because it's just on their schedule because they play twice a week.
Sokol trying to collect himself after throwing 5 straight balls. 1-0, way inside. Krause gonna have to bend out of the way of that one. 2-0 the count, 6 straight balls from Sokol.
If I'm Krause, I just keep the bat on the shoulders. Just let him until he starts consistently throwing strikes. Just stand there.
I remember when I played back in high school, that was everything in the dugout. He's not thrown a strike in 6 straight pitches. You better watch that first one go by you. As this one will be a strike. So Sokol's able to get one across. Now Kraus can probably take the bat off his shoulders and start to look for something to drive.
That was a much-needed pitch there from Sokol. And even that was almost a little bit inside.
Kraus waiting for 2-1. That one will be low, 3-1, and Sokol cannot afford to lose Kraus here. They'll push across another run with bases loaded, 2 outs. And this all started after Waschek drove in Peters with 2 outs after an RBI single to right. 3-1. That one's low, ball 4, bases loaded, walk, and that's going to bring Waschek in home.
That's exactly what Levi Kraus did. Just kept the bat on his shoulders that entire at-bat, and he forces a walk and an RBI. Now Kraus has 3 RBIs on a day. Brings Will Kaufman up, who's, like you mentioned before, having a great season. He has 15 RBIs and 6 home runs.
And we're going to see Tyler Black, number 17, a sophomore from Bedford, PA, start to warm up for UPJ in their pen. Now this ball is hit high and deep, trailing to the foul ground, and that had plenty of distance on it, but goes foul as Kaufman, tried to send one deep, try and really open this game up.
Oh man, that was just hair close. He straightens that out. That's going over the observer reporter sign in right field.
Now 0-1 count to Kaufman, bases loaded. Watches that one go low. Ball 1, evens up the count.
And when manager Todd Williams having to use he didn't want to use Sokol yesterday, but maybe the little bit of fatigue from yesterday kind of wore him out, and he's still kind of trying to recover from that mental from yesterday.
Now Kaufman drives another one. Plenty of distance, but again foul. Just getting the bat out in front of it a little too early. He's done that twice now.
He's just been absolutely crushing. I mean, I feel bad for one car that was sitting out there. There's cars I would not park in right field out there, especially with this California Vulcan lineup that's really crushing the ball today.
And especially very left-handed, heavy among their hitters, driving them to the out right field. 1-2 count. Kaufman swings and misses, but the ball gets away. Kaufman's going to get on, and the run comes home anyways. So Sokol finally gets something going for him, and Pecora can't secure it to get that 3rd out.
Oh, it's his first strikeout of the day, too. First strikeout of the day. Pecora cannot get it in, and Kaufman's able to get the first, and no one was there. That ball, not very, very fast. It took a ricochet, kind of rolled back, and Pecora had to run to go get it, and another run for California. You know, that's playing small ball. Take him out how you get him.
And that will not be an RBI for Kaufman, but it does get the run in. So now Fennell up with the bases loaded. He'll watch one trail inside. Ball 1 with 2 outs. The bottom of the 3rd, California scored 3 runs here to break up the score to 5-2. Only on 4 runs, though.
All in 2 outs, too.
And now Fennell breaks one out into center field. That's going to score 2. That'll get a runner over to 3rd. Here comes the throw in, and Kaufman will be safe. Fennell go back to 1st. It's 7-2 Vulcans.
What a good hit there by Mick Fennell. This 2-out offense by California. 5 runs this inning, and now suddenly after allowing UPJ to tie it up at 2, California breaking away. They were out to a 9-2 lead in that game 2 yesterday. They were able to hold on from there, but just great at bat so far. And Fennell, that is RBIs number 24 and 25.
And now we're going to see McGrath for the 2nd time this inning. He was the 1st out of the bottom of the 3rd inning. Comes up again as California has batted around.
And the thing is, there's nothing UPJ can do. Tyler Black is just started warming up, and there's just not enough time. Sokol's just going to have to try to fight through it.
McGrath flew out to center field his 1st time up this inning. Watches one, and Fennell's going to try and steal it. He'll be safe as the throw to 2nd. Looked like the second baseman was trying to come in case Kaufman ran home.
No one covered it. No one covered 2nd.
Exactly. It looked like his shortstop was even trying to go behind him, but that play to me looked like it was set up to be second baseman come in front and try and throw the ball back home in case he goes, but no one went, so Fennell's easily in there with a stolen base.
And a big spot here for Danny McGrath. He can get one into the outfield. With Fennell's speed, he can get 2 RBI here.
Now it's ball 1, evens the count at 1. 2 outs, runners on 2nd and 3rd. California with 5 runs here in the inning. Everybody has been up. McGrath and Marcus, the only outs, they both flew to center in the inning.
And again, there's both well-struck balls as well.
Sokol's pitch. McGrath. That's going to be a looper. See if it falls. Looks like it's going to the right fielder. He has it. That will end the big inning for California as they have a 7-2 lead. We'll go to the top of the fourth after this break. California opened it up with their offense. See if they can do the same thing on the field here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
And we're back on CUTV, ready for the top of the fourth as we're about midway through this contest between California and UPJ. And California opened up for 5 runs in the bottom of the third. No home runs, just a lot of walks and timely 2-out hitting.
And 4 of them coming with 2 outs. As you said, they went from 1 hit to 5 hits now. And UPJ with 6. But this is interesting here. Senchak was on the bump for a while. Let's see if any rust affects him.
And another thing to that is it's a hot day out here. Being out in the shade, that could really give him some much-needed rest. As Senchak throws it in, it's hit high, pop up to center field. Fennell is there to grab it, and that's 1 out.
See Fennell playing center field today. He's kind of turned in, not quite the talent level of Kyle Petty, but he's that utility guy who can play anywhere on the field.
Now coming up is Pecora, the catcher for UPJ, who let one get by him for another run to score after the strikeout. Thought about a bunt, and he'll bring it back, and it's a ball 1 just high.
Senchak there throwing the pitch. He kind of knew the bunt was coming and threw it away, so he tried to prevent him there, maybe playing a bit of his own defense.
Now this one's going to be in for a strike in the inside corner, evens count at 1.
I could almost even think that maybe he was kind of like surprised that he was going to bunt and then almost like threw it over Kaufman.
Now this one stays high, 2-1 the count, 7-2 the score in the top of the fourth with 1 out. Senchak's pitch, that one's outside, 3-1.
Falling behind Pecora here, but he's been doing a better job at getting the leadoff guy out, but it's that UPJ got that big 2-out double to get on the board.
Now this one, Marcus tries to jump and catch it. Not able to, goes down the right field line. Pecora's trying to go to second. Here comes the throw. No cutoff, and it's going to be a little late as Pecora comes in with a sliding double.
And for even our UPJ, still behind 7-2 here, they've gotten some nice hits there, getting it just over the California infielders there, and Pecora with a big double. They got a lot of work to do to catch up here, and Pecora batting .281. That's only his 3rd double of the season.
Now that brings up Cook, who's hitting .190 this year. Bottom of the lineup, he's going to sky one. That will get out of play over towards the UPJ visitor stands. 0-1 the count, runner on second.
And Senchak has still not had a 1-2-3 inning so far. Actually, both starting pitchers have not had a 1-2-3 inning in this game.
And the closest Senchak came was in the first inning when he only faced 4 batters. The same with Sokol, he only faced 4 hitters as well. The 0-1, that one's high and inside, ball 1.
And it count even up here, but he's just got to get through this bottom of the lineup here. But then he comes up with Rizzatono, and he's been thorn in Senchak's side today so far.
Now this one trails inside. Wow, that's going to be a strike.
Ooh.
That was very inside, well off the plate, and a called strike, so it's 1-2.
But see, that's the thing. Senchak will take that because that's what he lives on. He lives on that control, not the speed, just trying to just hit those corners, and he hit it right there.
1-2. That one's going to be lined to short. They'll get the out at first. Runner advances to third.
And they're just taking what he can do right there. Gets the runner to third. Basically a a bunt almost, but smart play there by Matt Peters. And Matt Peters, pretty good on defense, but he leads the team in errors. He has 7 errors, while the next guy has 3 in Danny McGrath. But Peters still, he's been leading. He's been playing second base and shortstop in his career here.
This one, low ball 1, and shortstop is that one position on the field where the most errors happen because you have a lot of area that you need to cover. 1-0. This one's going to be grounded to second. Brooks is there. It throws it to first, and Cal's out of the inning, leaving a man on.
And Senchak again, leaving guys in scoring position right there. He's had guys in scoring position every single inning, but he's been working out of it. So great job, 4 solid innings out of Senchak and Zach. We're going to take a look at the PSAC West standings. This was before yesterday, but I can tell you right now, Seton Hill is now tied with Mercyhurst, both at 19. Mercyhurst at 19-3, Seton Hill 18-4. So with the update there, I believe Seton Hill might have dropped that second game to Gannon, but right now that big key there is Slippery Rock and California tied for third now, 12-10. And California should be have the tiebreaker advantage because they beat Slippery Rock 3 out of 4 times this season. IUP just trailing them by 1 game. And to check out more league stats, league standings, check out psacsports.org.
And you said that tiebreaker between California and Slippery Rock. Cal beat Slippery Rock 3 out of 4 times. However, Slippery Rock does have a better overall record, which may factor into it. Slippery Rock standing at 22-15. California at 18-18. So they've dropped a few more contests. They actually, relatively looking at it, they stand 3.5 games behind Slippery Rock in the win column, if you want to look at it like that. And it looks like Sokol's coming back out here for the 4th inning.
You got to believe he's going to have a quick leash right here. I see Black still out there warming up, but that's advantage Slippery Rock because California did not play a game until March 7th. They had their first 4 contests postponed to rain, while Slippery Rock was already well into their season. They had a little bit more luck. They played more games in the South. But that's going to really come to advantage, and they're not going to be making up a lot of those games as well. Like the game against Lock Haven canceled, Penn State Greater Allegheny. West Liberty was postponed. They're actually going to play that game on Wednesday, so that's going to come a factor. You notice UPJ has a tie on there. That was with IUP a week ago. They tied 15-15, and that game was played at IUP, and IUP does not have lights, so they had to say that's it, that's the game, and they went 8 innings.
Sokol's pitch, Peters swings and misses at it, 1-1, and you mentioned 15-15. That's nothing like the offensive onslaught like Bemidji State and Minnesota State Mankato had. 41-20 in 8 innings.
That's a pitcher store right there.
Absolutely.
And even IUP beat Clarion once this season, 30-15.
And sometimes the bats just get going and the pitchers can't do anything about it. As this one is over for a strike, 1-2 on Peters. First batter at the bottom of the 4th, Sokol. Here's the pitch. And that one's going to be lined to left field for a base hit. Left fielder dives for it. Peters thought about going to second, but he will not. And you saw in that slide out there all the black rubber pellets coming up on that slide.
And those came from tires. Those are all diced up little tires there from all the turf. I mean, it's basically like playing on an artificial turf field at Adamson Stadium. It's basically, and I think it's really cool out there, but there's that one advantage though. It's a home field advantage because California knows how to work the base paths. When they slide, you have to hook your arm or you're going to go sliding right past there. But UPJ, their newly renovated Point Stadium, that is also turf.
Now Marcus watched his first one go by, 1-0, and you mentioned like Adamson Stadium, California football, they're getting spring practice underway. I remember the best thing in practice was then in practice some football in the outfield going from foul line to foul line. That was a great game.
Oh, yeah.
And playing with a baseball too, not just football. So as Marcus waits 1-0, and this one will be in there for a strike, even the count.
And David Marcus, Cal has 7 runs. Marcus doesn't even have a hit yet. I don't think he's been on base yet. So the way California's been kind of getting some unsung heroes picking up for the main hitters so far in this game.
And he is 0 for 2, flied to left and flied to center. The count now stands at 2-1 on Marcus, and he's been pitched outside all day long, waiting for that one to just come across the plate so he can rock it.
And he's been definitely a little bit more aggressive too because he knows. I mean, he's probably got the most power of this whole team.
Now here's one, and Marcus sends it to center field for a bloop single. That's his first hit of the day.
And I think they're going to have to try to take Sokol out here because he's carrying that on from last inning, and now that he's already in a bad mental state from that last inning, and it's kind of continued here. And Black's been warming up for, I'd say, a good 15 minutes or so, and I think we're going to have a change right here.
Yeah, it looks like it. UPJ coach is coming out. Sokol's day will be done. He will be responsible for those 2 runners on, however. And we mentioned before, coming on the pitch is Black, number 17, Tyler Black, a sophomore.
Tyler Black is from Bedford, Pennsylvania, from Bedford High School. There's a lot of centralized towns that UPJ's been using here, and you can see UPJ's players are coming out of the dugout, just trying to give Sokol their best wishes. You know, I mean, it's tough out there. It's a very hot day. This is probably the warmest day that these teams have seen this season so far, and Sokol did a good job hanging in there. Just nothing he could do with. He's had to gut it out because the bullpen was not ready, and he just tried his best, and that's all you can ask for. But I think you got to be happy about what he did yesterday, though, shutting the door on California when they put their first 2 guys on in that 7th inning. And it's a picturesque day here in Washington, Pennsylvania, on top of a hill here just above from the Washington Galleria Mall, right to the left of Interstate 70. It's a great ballpark here.
It absolutely is, and we mentioned before, it's exactly like the day we had last year. Except this time we're in the shade, so we won't get sunburned like we did last year. That was awful.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
wearing a red polo right now. If you don't remember from the Open, I looked like this red polo last year. It was awful. But you know what? It was the first time ever calling baseball for most of us on this crew.
Yep.
It was well worth it to get those third-degree burns.
You know, no pain, no gain. It's great being out here, great calling baseball. Normally don't get a lot of baseball games, and great to do another season as well. We've called a lot of games on CUTV that have been classics. We have a From the Vault from Shippensburg back in '06. We even have tape of a major league player on here, Matt Adams from Slippery Rock, when California made a trip, when CUTV made a trip up to Slippery Rock to call some baseball.
Yes, Matt Adams, who had his jersey retired by the Rock this year, first baseman for the Cardinals. And now Waschek swings at the first pitch and fouls it away from Black. And that game at Slippery Rock, the only road baseball game CUTV has ever done, because Slippery Rock has one of the better facilities in all the PSAC.
Yeah, newly renovated, but not a lot of facilities we can really do them from. But he said, like, IUP doesn't even have lights. They're basically like old-style Wrigley Field.
Now Waschek, he's going to hit this one to center field. This one is driving the center fielder back. Let's see if he runs out of room.
Gone.
He does. It's gone.
Wow. What a titanic shot there by Waschek. That's well over 400 feet. And for Waschek, that is his sixth home run of the season. That now ties Mick Fennell. 2nd home run a day for California. They're busting this wide open here. And I wrote a story for this team that's in the Cal Times this week. It's hitting season. It's always that term. I take it from former Phillies manager Charlie Manuel. It's hitting season. And look at that shot right to center field. Again, that ball carried, and it surprised both of us how much that ball is carried today. Using that wind, and right over the Corey Financial Group sign there in left center field. Great hit.
And I actually lost the ball following it.
Same.
As Grove swings and misses. I lost the ball following it out, and all of a sudden I just saw the center fielder go against the wall, threw his hands up, and just kind of looked down, and I knew that was when it was gone. As now Grove is up. He has an 0-1 count on him from Black. And that one's going to miss for ball 1. And that last hit does close the book officially on Sokol. His day is done. 3+ innings, 7 hits given up, 9 runs all earned, 5 walks, and a strikeout on 22 total batters faced.
And it's just a tough day at the office here. But now California, another double-digit output.
And this one's going to be inside, 2-1. On Grove now from Black, who comes in, and his first batter gives up a long, towering 415-foot shot to Chris Waschek.
I mean, you can't even be mad at that, because that's just a great hit, and another hit here.
Grove sneaks it by the shortstop, who was looking to make over and try and make a play. Grove, that's his 2nd hit of the day, gets him on.
I'm very happy I parked well behind the left field foul post and not out there in center field, because you think that's where your car would be the safest. But Chris Waschek might have just took out a window.
Now we're going to see Brooks at the plate. He's walked twice and scored twice as well. No outs still in the bottom of the fourth. And Matt, you might know this. Is there a run rule?
I do not believe so. In softball, there's a 10-run rule, but in Division II college baseball, I do not believe so. Because, I mean, how would a score become 41-20?
Oh, that's true.
Or 30-15. So, no, but you never know though, because and then I always get confused when I see like different inning outputs and said, oh, this team won 26-5 in 5 innings. So.
At that point, it's just like, we don't want to play anymore, possibly. But yeah, I completely forgot about the 41-20. That makes my
You're fine.
idea out of there. So
I mean, I could almost think that as well, thinking about other games, because in high school there's 10-run rule. I believe Division III has a run rule as well.
Yeah, I know in high school the rule. I'm trying to remember it as the counts 1 and 2. It was 15 after 5 and 10 after 6.
Yeah,
was the rule, I believe.
That sounds about right. And the Cal U softball team has been very famous in these past couple of years to end a lot of their games early, because they've really just crushed their opponents.
The 1-2 pitch, and that's a swing and a miss for Brooks. His first out of the day is a strikeout. That's the first out of the inning as well.
That is the first strikeout, the second strikeout overall, but the first strikeout that's resulted in an out.
Now Levi Krause coming up. A home run, a 2-run shot in the bottom of the second, as well as a walk. And he came in to score. Been on base twice in his 2 appearances. 1 for 1 officially on the day. And he'll wait as the pickoff move goes over to first.
And just see a lot of like crooked numbers here. We're going to see a lot of different at-bats too coming up. They still have Kev Vulcans as long as they hold on here.
Krause going to send this one to the left or right center field gap. Right fielder, is there to make the play, as it just hangs up there a little bit too long, as Krause on the first pitch is retired.
Again, but that was still another well-struck ball by Krause. He's got a lot of power under him, and I always if I would ever play baseball, I'd always wear those nice high stirrups there. I think they look great.
Oh, stirrups are a wonderful thing.
Yes.
And you can't do the fake ones where it's built into the sock. You got to get the white sock and then the heel stirrup up above it. That's the only way to go. That's classy and classic at the same time.
I also have a huge respect for players that don't use batting gloves. Like I always thought Vladimir Guerrero, Evan Gaddis, El Oso Blanco. Like, that's just gritty right there.
The 1-0 comes. Kaufman hits it to short. Shortstop will throw it on to first and get the out. That will end the bottom of the fourth. But California adds another crooked number, like you've been saying, Matt, to make it 10-2. At the end of 4, we'll go to the 5th. California looking to continue to coast on defense here on CUTV.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted. We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And welcome back. Top of the 5th inning here at Consol Energy Park, as California has a 10-2 lead on the UPJ Mountain Cats. And GJ Senchak, he's had himself a nice day on the mound. He's gone 4 innings, given up 2 runs, a couple big strikeouts in there as well. And he's still out there as the top of the 5th will start off with Dylan Boyer at the plate.
And Coach Connie's he's got some leeway now to keep Senchak in the game longer because now you have a 8-run lead, so you don't have to dig into the bullpen here. Senchak's been kind of running into some deeper counts, but still at a manageable pace.
Senchak ready for his first pitch of the inning. Here it comes. It's a strike right down the middle as Boyer swings and misses.
And Senchak, not very much of a swing and miss type of guy there, but that's just a nice looking pitch.
There's a second, and that one's going to be a small grounder to first baseman. Marcus steps on the bag just before the head first slide from Boyer gets the out.
That was almost a bang play right there. Marcus, I think, kind of underestimated Boyer's speed, and he went head first in the bag. The only other player that I know really in the major leagues that does that is Brett Gardner for the Yankees.
And the rule is, though, you slow yourself down when you slide
Yeah.
into a bag, actually, so it's better to run it out, as this one is a little dribbler foul towards the third baseline from Slay. Sean Slay, this is Nate Negri. Slay is on deck. Negri had that 2 RBI double his last time as he hits us right to second base, and Brooks makes the line drive catch.
That was I really got the glove down there. Didn't even have to throw it to first with the line out. And Senchak here, first 2 guys down. Now he's got big man right here, Sean Slay, but really kept Sean Slay in check so far. And very impressive.
A walk and a strikeout in the third inning before Palkovitz actually hit the 2 RBI double after Negri got a double to move Rizitano over to third. This first pitch is a ball, and Slay, his last time up, went down on 3 pitches that were all out of the zone. So he hits this one down the third base line, and Krause has it. Throw on to first, and he's out as Marcus leaps up just enough to make that catch. 1-2-3 inning.
I've been impressed with Levi Krause, and that's Senchak's first 1-2-3 inning of the day here in the 5th. Just very workman's-like inning, but that's not easy at all. Krause had to set and throw across the bag, and Marcus even better jump up here to grab the ball. And here, you take a look at this is our YouTube page, CUTV Sports 1. If you want to miss this broadcast on CUTV, if you want to see it again, if you want to see any of our broadcasts, basketball, football, different shows we have on there, Ultimate List, check it out. You see CUTV Sports 1. You can check it out anywhere, anytime. I know for our parents, Zach, your parents in Georgia, mine are in Eastern Pennsylvania, they don't get CUTV, and they always like to check out our work, and even other families for other members in the CUTV station.
And another way to interact with the crew is CUTV's Twitter feed at CUTV_PA. It's the best way to see where we're going for our shoots, upcoming schedule of shoots. I know this is sadly our last sports shoot of the year, and I have to make a mention, sadly it's the last sports shoots of their careers for our good friend Stephen Mannering, who's right next to us working camera 1, as well as Cody Jeanette, who's running graphics. He'll be announcing game 2 today. Great few years out of those gentlemen, and as well as Kat Leberfinger, whose final shoot as well. As you see Steve right there, Kat and Cody, they're in the truck. Won't be seeing them on camera, but Steve, good note, you'll be seeing him running some camera if you're out at Reading Phillies game this summer, as well as yourself, Matt. You'll be out working for them as well.
You'll actually be seeing me running food.
Running food. Hey, that's a good job. You get free food.
Yeah, hey, free food, free baseball. It's been a great job. It's gonna be my 4th year with the team. I've been going to Reading Fightins. They have an ostrich. It's been the big step. I've been going to games there since I was 6 years old.
And besides Stephen Mannering and yourself with the Reading Phillies, we also have Cody Jeanette interning with the local Altoona Curve, the AA affiliate of the Pirates. And Kat did that as well last year. So good to see all of us here at CUTV not only get involved in sports, but involved in the career field as well. As now this one's going to be hit just foul by Fennell. Looked like at State Fair he could have run it out.
Yeah, because the UPJ players of pitcher Black there kind of hesitated, just kind of hoped that was going to roll foul. State Fair, but just rolled foul. Hesitant almost came back to bite him there. But Eastern League Baseball, Altoona and Reading, my favorite series of the year. Every time Altoona comes in, get to see future Pittsburgh Pirates. You see now Tyler Glasnow and Josh Bell. I got to see Josh Bell last season. I actually caught a home run ball from Willie Garcia, who's another one of the top Pirates prospects.
Now the pitch from Black to Fennell. That one's going to be up high. Makes the count 2-1, excuse me.
Reading is a great pet place to catch foul balls.
Now 2-1 from Black. Fennell is going to ground it to second base. Man is there and throws it on to first for the out.
Nice looking play there for
Boyer.
That's Boyer. Still getting used to those numbers, the numbers that they're all like out there. But I mean, almost stuck through there, and we saw GJ Senchak get a 1-2-3 inning. Now Black's kind of settling in after giving up that towering home run to Waschak. So good on him for responding to the call and not unfolding more.
Now we're going to see McGrath coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2 so far today with a sac bunt as well. And you watch the first strike come across, 0-1.
And it's just great to see different contributions from this team. Everyone on this California team has contributed in every way, shape, or form. It's a total team effort.
Now McGrath ready for the 0-1. And that one just outside, it evens the count at 1.
And even if you're California here, do you kind of get more aggressive? Just you have another game to play, maybe be more aggressive, swing at the first pitches, take less pitches than more, just try to get the game over with.
McGrath swings and fouls it behind him on a little dribbler. Makes count 1-2. And you know what, Matt? I think you get aggressive, but you don't get too aggressive.
Right,
you're swinging
right.
At really bad pitches.
Oh, yeah, no.
But if something's in the zone, don't be afraid to go swing
Right.
at it. You're up 10-2.
Because, I mean, that's how they drove Sokol out of the game by just making great deep at-bats.
Now the 1-2 down low, 2-2. McGrath trying to look for his first hit. He is the only Vulcan to not reach base so far today.
That's crazy.
Ready for the 2-2. And McGrath right back to the pitcher, Black. A nice play by him, and McGrath still not able to get on.
I mean, just for a nice play there right at Black. Nothing you can do about that one. But McGrath still probably see him in the second game as well. But now you're going to see Matt Peters. Matt Peters started that last inning off with getting on with a single, and then got Marcus on next, and then Waschak went boom.
Waschak went boom. Great saying. Is now you have Peters. He's going to hit this one into the right center field gap. It hangs up
nice
just
play.
enough for the right fielder, though. Nice play out there. So a 1-2-3 inning yet again, as this game seems to be moving along a little bit faster. When we come back, we're at the top of the 6th here on CUTV.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
And welcome back to Consol Energy Park. And guess who's back again? I'm back on play-by-play, and I'll close it out here for the 6th and 7th innings as long as we don't go to extra innings. But the California Vulcans lead the Pitt Johnstown Mountain Cats 10-2. And GJ Senchak still out there. And first 1-2-3 inning in the last inning, Zach. And now we made it top of the 6th. He starts with first pitch strike. He's gotten a lot better as this game worked along.
I think he's relaxed a little bit more, knowing that he has that run support up on the board, a 10-2 lead. He says, hey, I don't have to throw perfect pitches every time. I can try and get some guys to chase. If I get a guy on, it's okay. I'm still up by 8.
This is Palkovitz here. Takes a ball out. Takes a strike to make it 1-2. And Palkovitz is the only reason why UPJ is not shut out in this game. A big two-run double, two-run double, and takes this pitch outside as well, make it 2-2.
Yeah, Palkovitz, that double, he was fighting off some pitches before. Senchak just threw one there, and Palkovitz had a nice hit on it.
And takes a whack at that one, just foul.
That was a screamer down the first baseline towards the UPJ bullpen. If that was fair and it started curling that way, that could have easily been a triple possibly for Palkovitz.
Palkovitz is a senior. There's just a lot of seniors on this roster here, and takes another whack at that one. That one's going down the right field line. Looks like he will stay at first, so good day out of Mike Palkovitz.
And that's a single for him, 2 of 3 on the day. And see if UPJ can maybe knock off some runs off this deficit. They have 8 hits today, but like California yesterday, they've not been able to get the guys in. GJ Sunchak, as soon as he gets into the setup, he's been shutting guys down at the plate.
And the first pitch here to Williams is a swing and a miss. And just the way Senchak here, Coach Connie's got to like that. Try to keep him in here. Like I mentioned before, they have that 8-run buffer room. And that pitch is taken downstairs for a ball to even the count up at 1.
And Williams today so far 1 of 2. He has a single, and he flew out to right field to end the 3rd inning.
He is a redshirt freshman, so the future of this UPJ team. Swing and a miss here to make it 1-2.
Now Senchak, I'd like to see him attack with the fastball. Don't go with that off-speed stuff. Try and get this guy out right here.
And his pitch is just fouled away. Williams staying alive.
Looked like he came with some off-speed stuff on that one, and Williams wasn't on it, so you might see that again. But like I said, go with that fastball. You might try and speed the bat up, but hey, if you get that ground ball, maybe try and turn it double play if you get the right opportunity.
And now, once again, the 1-2. Pitch just outside to even up the count of 2. It's funny, Senchak's done a better job facing the right-handed batters in this game than the left-handed batters. Palkovitz, left-handed batter, 2 for 3. And that pitch swing and a miss, and Senchak picks up a big strikeout here for the first out of the top of the 6th.
And you said he's done better against the right-handed hitters today. Slay, Williams, Negri, all have struck out at least once today. The comparable to that is Tony Watson of the Pirates. He actually does a lot better against right-handed hitters than he does lefties as that setup guy. That's why he's not just a lefty specialist, because he actually cannot get left-handed hitters out better than he does right-handed hitters.
But Tony Watson, most of the time, goes out, takes the ball, does his job.
As Dejan Kovacevic, one of our favorite riders. Hey,
he always misses them. He always misses them when he pitches.
Yeah, I went out to do some yard work. What did Tony Watson do? He did his job.
Yeah.
Nothing new.
Now this pitch is right to the third baseman. Kraus bobbles it, recovers, throws to first low, and he is out. Nice recovery there by Kraus for the second out of the inning here, and Palkovitz will move to second.
And Stern can't believe that he's called out there, and I actually have a little bit of a concurrence with him here. Let's watch the replay, see if we get that first base look. Kraus bobbles it.
Oh,
Close play. Tie usually goes to the runner if there was a tie, but the umpire was so far away that he had to make the play over at second base.
And next batter here is Pecora, and he fouls that first pitch back, getting down to the bottom of the lineup here.
Pecora, the catcher, he's reached on a fielder's choice and hit a double in this one so far as he watches ball 1 down low.
And Senchak taking it back here, 2 outs, and do not believe Senchak's had a complete game since last season. This has definitely been one of his better starts so far on the year.
He actually has 2 complete games this year.
Okay, excellent. But I mean, you really need performances like this, and it's crunch time. You gotta get these wins because right now the California, they control their own destiny. As long as they win, it doesn't matter what Slippery Rock does. Doesn't matter what IUP does. And the 1-2 here, that pitch is just fouled off, so Pecora will stay alive here.
Senchak has 2 of the team's 8 complete games. The other 6, 3 each from Justin Taylor and Jack Dennis. Here's the 1-2 pitch.
Pitch is upstairs to make it 2-2. And Senchak, actually, fun story about GJ Senchak. I used to be in athletic training, and I had how they do 3-week clinical rotations here. That pitch is called strike 3. So GJ Senchak, 6 strong innings out of him. But I was able, the first baseball game I did was a game against Fairmont State, which was played on campus actually because Consol Energy Park was not ready, and GJ Senchak was pitching that time as a sophomore and came away with a win. And take a look at our Facebook page here, California University Television. We post different links to that, photos of the truck or wherever we are, and any upcoming announcements to do with CUTV, upcoming shoots to keep it alive. I know the next shoot we'll have will be commencement, and that's always a great event. Good, nice and spiffy.
Yeah.
I really want to try to invest in a tux, where just change things up a bit.
And then also for all Cal U sports information, go to calvulcans.com, run by the wonderful SID, Matt Kiefer. He does a very good job as well of his grad assistants, Tyler Zim and Jeff DeBaldo. I know Tyler Zim was with us out in South Dakota when we went out for the Women's Basketball Championship, and we got to know him a little bit better and exactly what goes behind all the SID stuff. And, of course, Kiefer, he's also running PA announcements here today, too, so doing double duty. He does it all himself. A very good job with it. Runs the website to perfection. As we'll look over at camera 2, over to Anthony D'Agostino, who's running camera 2. And we'll wave over there right now.
I'm going to tease. This is the Reading Fightins hat here. You can see there's an ostrich on my hat right here. This is a new logo. This came out 2013. There's live ostriches at Reading. So if you want to see some live ostriches, come out to Reading.
Yeah, I don't have any interesting animal baseball stories like an ostrich to tell you back where I'm from in Georgia. I know we have some wild farm animals running around somewhere in the deep south, but nothing like an ostrich.
Still got a lot of great teams down there. Gwinnett Braves, Rome Braves. And now the first pitch from Black here to Marcus is upstairs for a ball. As we're in the bottom of the 6th here. And Marcus, he got his first hit 2 innings ago and set up Chris Waschak for that big 3-run home run. And Marcus grounds this one to first. Easy play for the first baseman Williams, and it'll be 1 out. Really like how Black settled in here.
Yeah, Black has definitely come in, and over the 2+ innings that he's thrown, had a lot of good control. The first batter he came in and faced was Waschak, and he had a bad situation out there that Sokol left him, and it just happened. Waschak, it was his time, he was due, and he hit one 415+ feet out to center field. But since then, he's had a 1-2-3 inning, and he's actually retired 7 straight hitters right now.
And definitely UPJ's got to like that from the pitching, the struggles they've had so far in this game. And the 1-0 pitch will be taken low for a ball. And I mean, this park here, it's not the easiest park. I mean, right field is 325. Right field of Yankee Stadium's 310, or thereabouts, 312. So it's no easy task here. It just makes it even more impressive of what Waschak was able to do there. The power alley's about, I'd say 415 where he hit it, and dead center's 405.
And I'll actually beat you in the right field and left field lines. My high school stadium where I played at Sprayberry High School in Georgia, for those of you who don't know, former home of Pittsburgh Pirates Chris Benson and Marlon Byrd, the right field and left field lines were 336. So you had to have some serious power to be able to hit it out. This is actually short to me. If I went out there, I might actually be able to club one out because I had no power whatsoever.
2-2 pitch and grounded right up the middle. Oh, nice stop there by shortstop. Flips to first for the out. Great play there. Believe that was Stern.
And that was a Stern fielding
exactly,
play
yeah.
Right there.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
And, Waschak, you can't really do a lot about a guy making a great defensive play on you. You got to tip your hat to him. Hey, you hit your 3-run bomb earlier in the day. You're still up 10-2. 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th.
So that will bring up Jared Grove. Grove's had a pretty nice day at the plate so far today.
He's 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a run scored.
And the first pitch to Grove is taken outside for a ball. This pace of this game is definitely picked up here. But what a great day like today, it's just fun being out here in perfect weather. It's supposed to be, the forecast early in the week had this day for rain and more rain. We didn't know if we'd be able to come out here, but I mean, thank goodness.
Couldn't ask for a better day.
Oh, it's perfect.
There's some
literally
clouds
perfect
in the sky, but
yeah,
all sunny. And thank goodness we're in the shade. Like I said, no sunburns.
Next pitch is taken for a strike here to make the count 2-1. And you mentioned before with Marlon Byrd from Sprayberry High School, 2001 Eastern League MVP at the Reading Phillies, and he's been all around Phillies, Mets, Pirates. That pitch is bounced away, and Cubs also, and now he's with the Reds. So, I mean, very serviceable guy, and it's cool to have someone from your high school you can say, hey, he went to my high school.
Yeah, he was back on the only state title team that my school had back in 1995, the same year the Braves won the title. Marlon Byrd was on that team, and he was the main guy.
Next pitch is outside. It could be called a strike there. Looked like Grove was about to start walking the first base, but it'll make it a full count here.
Full count with 2 outs. If Black does get him, that's 9 straight set down.
And the full count offering. Outside, ball 4, Jared Grove ends the 8 straight batters retired, and he will get on base.
But you cannot say anything bad about Black.
No.
Since giving up that home run, he gave up a single to Grove, actually. So Grove was the last player to get on, and he does it again here. He's now 2 of 3 with a walk and a run scored as well. And now they'll bring out Brooks, who's walked twice and struck out, but he's also scored 2 runs.
And Tyler Black's ERA coming into the game was 15.26. So that number's definitely going to been working its way down today.
And he's only given up 1 run to his credit so far, because 2 of the 3 runs that were given up in Washek's home run actually belong to Sokol because he got them on.
Next batter here, Brooks. Rips this one foul down the third base line. Make it fall behind the count 0-2 here with 2 outs. And California, once down 5 hits to UPJ's, now out-hit them 9-8. And the 0-2 pitch from Black. That ball is swung almost at camera 3 over there.
We told our camera operators, watch out. You may get a hit by a line drive, and that's Fatima and Jameer out there just outside of them, so they didn't have to move a lot, but better be careful.
Great having them out with us today. That ball is hit to the second baseman, fires to Williams at first, and Victor Black, not Victor Black, former Pittsburgh Pirate. I was talking about him earlier, but we will go to the top of the 7th. Last chance for UPJ there, down 10-2.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted. We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And welcome back to Consol Energy Park here in the top of the 7th inning of this game 1 of the doubleheader. And this is it right here. UPJ down to their last 3 outs. And GJ Senchak will be coming on here for the top of the 7th, trying to complete what he started. First pitch is taken for a strike. And the next offering from Senchak, that ball is also taken for a strike, so he gets ahead 0-2.
And, this inning, you want to go ahead and get out there and steady and just keep going with it and try and get this game over with.
Senchak looking for his 3rd complete game of the season, mentioned earlier. The 1-2 pitch. Ball is grounded to second baseman. Fires to Marcus at first, and there is one away. And I apologize for the last inning. Tyler Black, the pitcher for UPJ, not Vic Black, the pitcher for the New York Mets there. Talking about him earlier, and something like that, slips out sometimes.
Yeah, it happens, and you can't really do anything about it whenever it happens.
Next up here is the leadoff man, Ernesto Rizzitano. He's one of the main offensive threats so far for UPJ in getting on base here, and Senchak starts him off here with a first pitch strike. See Senchak throwing a lot of first pitch strikes here. He can feel he's almost done here. The finish line's near, and this pitch is also taken for a strike.
Yeah, Rizzitano started 2 for 2, but then he grounded out to second his last time.
And that pitch is outside as well. I think the UPJ fans are very happy about that last pitch strike, and this ball is grounded to Brooks at second, fires to first, Marcus, and there are 2 away.
So that's 2 straight ground outs to second base for Rizzitano after 2 straight singles to start the game, and now you're down to the final out here in the 7th inning.
And it all comes down here to Dylan Boyer, excuse me. And first pitch in the dirt for a ball. And what a great game out of Senchak. He had that run, rough inning. He had to give that 2-out, 2 RBI double, but he's responded. He's been solid since. His ball is also outside as well, falling net behind 2-0.
You don't want to try too hard here in this at-bat. Just throw the pitches over. You don't want to try too hard to get this out.
And ball is taken for a strike here. Getting ready for still another game of baseball to be played here on this beautiful mid-April Saturday afternoon. Pitch grounded. Brooks tries to get it. It's going to be a tough play. Fires to first, and he will be safe. Kind of a tough play there through low. And Marcus, all you have to do, and still a lot of good speed there from Dylan Boyer and UPJ, still staying alive.
So just an infield hit there. Now you're going to have Negri come up to the plate, who did have a double early in his game, so you have to watch out. UPJ still with an opportunity to maybe get some runs here in the late going.
Got some late runs yesterday as well when they were up 9-2. Senchak's first pitch to Negri is taken for a strike. Senchak working quick. Offers the 0-1. Ball hit up the middle. That will drop in for base hit. So back-to-back hits here for UPJ. Still a lot of work to be done here, but Senchak got to get this game over with.
And this is his inning anyways. Coach Connie's not putting anybody out of the bullpen. You're up by 8. You only got 2 guys on with 2 outs. And you got Slay, a guy who you've pretty much controlled so far in this game, up at the plate, trying to get that final out.
Slay has not gotten on base at all today. First pitch is taken for a strike. Senchak looking around, checking his runners, fires the 0-1. That pitch is fouled down the first base line past the right field grandstands, and UPJ is down to their final strike.
Final strike, and Slay, he has struck out once today. See if Senchak can do it again here on this 0-2 pitch with 2 outs.
The 0-2 pitch just outside. Nice play there by Kaufman to grab it and not let the ball go to the backstop and advance the runners.
And that was a wild outside pitch. And Slay actually swung at that a little bit earlier in one of his at-bats, but this time not pulling at it.
Senchak, the 0-2 once more. Swing and a miss, struck him out. And G.J. Senchak goes for a complete game, his 3rd of the season, and leads California to a big Game 1 victory here.
And I'm trying to total it up, a complete game there for Senchak. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts in that one, only giving up 2 runs. A great day for him on the mat, and California's offense came to play.
And California picking up a big win as they make their push to return to the playoffs. But yet, there's still one more game to be played. Cody Jeanette and Anthony D'Agostino have action for Game 2 of this doubleheader between UPJ and Cal coming up next. Now, for Zach Crosby, my name is Matt Haig, the wonderful CUTV crew. Thank you for listening to our broadcast today, and we'll see you next time.